Hey, I'm joined by Sony's Seth Luisi, who is a man that I've long identified with the SOCOM franchise, but now, sir, you are hard at work on putting the finishing touches on MAG.
Yes, we're getting close to the release of MAG. Comes out January 26th, and we're here during it's a little busy time right now, finalizing, getting ready to get the Gold Master done on MAG, but we're here showing off the public beta.
What's the response been, and how have you guys been kind of tweaking the game in response to that?
Yeah, we started the public beta back in July. We started a closed beta, and now it's open to anyone who pre-orders MAG at GameStop in North America. So we've been getting a lot of great feedback from the beta. Not only do we get a lot of feedback from the community, but we also look at getting data off the servers. So we can get heat maps where players are moving, where all the kills are being done, how players move through the maps, and really analyzing that data, adjusting the level layouts, and making sure that the game is as good as possible.
Cool. So you guys have three factions, or PMCs, or pop quiz time. You got Sever, Raven?
Sever, Raven,
and
yes.
Valor.
And Valor.
Got it, okay. And they've got different equipment, they've got different abilities, you know, they're different in gameplay terms. You mentioned that you pick one, and at least for a good while, you're stuck with that faction. So how do you, when people get into the game, how do you inform their decision and kind of help them figure out which faction is going to kind of cater to their playstyle?
Yeah, we have a little background information on them before you make your choice. We have some recruitment videos as well, so you can sort of watch those, get a feel for who each of the factions are. We're also looking at launching some websites around them, so you'll be able to go and check them out and get some background information on who they all are. So we do want people to make an informed choice because they will be living with this character for a little while.
So what are the options once you rank up high enough that you've got the chance to change? Is that a one-time change? Can you be a double agent? How does that stuff work?
Yes, well, once you get to a certain point in the game, the other PMCs will actively try to recruit you. So they'll try to get you to join their PMC because they notice that you're a good soldier, you're fighting against them. So you have the option to join that PMC and switch sides.
Okay. So you guys, obviously, huge teams, 128 players. Just for people who haven't been keeping up with the game up to now, can you break down what the squad size to platoon size is? What's the command hierarchy of a MAG team?
Absolutely. When you first start playing MAG, you're thrown in an 8-player squad. So there's a squad leader in that squad. He's giving you commands, telling you what to do, or you can be the squad leader and give those commands as well. But then we have a platoon, and platoon's made up of 4 different squads, and there's a platoon leader guiding those 32 players. And he's sort of giving tactical advice on where the squad should be focusing their attacks. On top of that, we have the OIC, the officer in charge. He is commanding all 128 players on your team going up against the other team of 128. So he has all 4 platoons and platoon leaders reporting to him. He's coordinating all the tactics between the different platoon leaders and sort of guiding them on the overall strategy for the battle.
Okay, so how do you incentivize regular players becoming commanding officers, and also how do you incentivize their kind of underlings, obeying their orders and doing what they say?
Yeah, so when you're playing the game, you gain experience for getting any kills or completing any objectives. And if it's actually an objective which your squad leader gave to you, you'll gain double XP. So as you go through the level and your squad leader assigns an objective, if you accomplish that objective, or even if you kill enemies around that objective, you'll get double the number of experience points you'd normally get. To be a squad leader, you actually have to be a veteran of the game. You have to get to level 15 before you can be a squad leader. And then you're eligible to go into that role and assign objectives for other players. On top of that, for squad leaders, to be a platoon leader or officer in charge, they have to be an effective squad leader. So if they're giving objectives to the squad mates and the squad mates are able to accomplish those objectives, you'll gain leadership points. And by gaining leadership points, you can go up their leadership ranks.
Obviously, one of the biggest benefits of ranking up is getting skill points that you can cash in on goodies, equipment, skills, and that kind of thing. Looking at the way you guys have broken those trees out, it almost reminded me of like a kind of a talent tree in a massively multiplayer game. Can you go into a little more depth about how you've split that stuff out and how people progress through those ranks?
Yes, we spend a lot of time working on the persistence of the character. So you are able to make certain decisions if you want to focus more on assault, on support, medic class, repairing, but you're not tied to a specific class. So as you go through the game, you gain experience, you go up in levels, you'll get skill points. You can spend those skill points on any skill that you want. They are broken into tiers, so you have to unlock skills in one tier before you can get to the more advanced skills. You can't unlock the highest end skills, but you're able to play through the game and unlock pretty much any weapon or any skill that you want just by spending points on it. So we have different skills such as assault, and that will unlock different assault weapons. It allows you to unlock skills to allow you to reload your assault weapon faster, unlocks different attachments for your assault weapon. And then we have similar items for explosives, heavy weapons, sniper, support. We even have an electronics class, which is more of a support class that they use different electronics and locators to see where enemy positions are or enemy explosives. So we have a lot of depth built into the skill tree.
You mentioned that keyword persistence there. So outside of the kind of local character progression, you guys have a big shadow war going on. That's the key phrase there. Can you kind of tell us what that's about?
Yes, we have the shadow war in the game. So the different PMCs are all vying for government contracts. So there's different government coalitions that are issuing contracts, and the PMCs are trying to get those contracts. So when you select the game type, you can actually see where your PMC is versus the other PMCs in the standing. And as your PMC is accomplishing objectives, finishing those maps and winning those maps, then they go up in standing, and then the governments will start giving them the contracts. And that actually has an effect on which levels you're playing, because the PMCs which are further behind are always going to be attacking the PMC ahead. So if you're the top dog, or your PMC is ahead, then the other PMCs are going to be attacking you, and you're going to be defending on your own maps. So that will change which maps are being played and who's defending versus attacking. Cool.
Have you guys decided, is that going to remain persistent across the life of the game, or like once a year or once every 6 months? Are you going to kind of zero all the factions out and let them kind of start over from scratch?
Well, it's kind of like a tournament in many ways. So you will have a winner after probably a few days, and then that team that won all those contracts gets a bonus going into the next round. So you will see it, and you will want to jump in and try to get your faction ahead so that you can get that bonus. But it does get sort of reset every few days or so.
Cool. So you mentioned the game's out in late January. That's a couple months from now. What are the big kind of like to-do list items that you guys need to nail at this point?
Well, we're putting a lot of focus on the public beta, on scalability, getting people and getting as much feedback as we can. We wouldn't be able to release this game without the public beta. 256 players, we can hire that many people, and we have brought in people to fill those games, but it's very expensive to have that type of QA staff on hand all the time. So the public beta is really forming this title and really defining what it is. So we get a lot of feedback from the community. There's a lot of feedback that we get on the back end just by looking at heat maps and kill maps and other things. So, continuing to get that feedback from the public beta and putting those finishing touches on the game is our main focus.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Seth.
Great. Thank you.